You're listening to the Bloodshed Baddies.
Hi, I'm Lex,
And I'm Sam.
and we are the Bloodshed Baddies.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. What up, girls and boys and everybody else?
Whoever you are, welcome.
What's going on? Before I even say anything, I need to hear, Alexis, about your dead Greg recipe.
Yes, last episode, I did not make it yet. I was making it after we filmed that episode, and I did make it. I made Dead Greg's chicken primavera.
Oh,
When I tell you this whole thing was like 4 ingredients, and it was the easiest thing I've ever made in my entire life. So, first thing you do, you boil water for the noodles, you cook the chicken in a pan. Then, once your chicken's cooked, you put teriyaki vegetables
oof.
into the pan. Cook the teriyaki vegetables. Meanwhile, you're cooking your pasta because it's probably boiled by now. Your pasta's in there, fettuccine noodles. Then you
Yum.
put cream cheese in the pan with your chicken and your teriyaki vegetables. And then when your noodles are done, you put noodles in the pan and you mix it all together. That's it.
Doesn't sound like it would go together, but it sounds good as poo.
It was so yummy. It was very, very good. So easy. It was even better the next day. Like once it had sat in the fridge for a night and then I ate some the next day, it was even better. It was like creamier from like sitting and not being so hot. Oh, loved it.
Dead Greg's, dead Greg's, dead Greg's. Also, to make us laugh before we get into one of our serious cases, Googled what are funny questions a little bit ago, and this one came up, and I'm curious. If animals could talk,
Mhm.
which animal, Alexis, would be the rudest?
The rudest
Yeah.
fucking swans.
Oh, that's actually a good one.
Swans are fucking mean.
Swans are mean. I will say yes to the swans. All right, which would be the nicest?
Dogs.
Dogs are, I was thinking, what's that? Is it pandas? What's
Mm-hmm.
the one from that like Disney show? The red one?
The red panda.
Yeah, that's what I feel like they'd be very kind. Excuse me, excuse me. Which one would be the grumpiest?
Ooh, taco.
That's a dog, Lexi's dog, you guys.
He's a very happy dog. He's just old and doesn't like to be bothered. um, I feel like I don't know what animals have like nothing to do,
Like a sloth? But
or
they get so
like
much
maybe
sleep.
no, yeah. I feel like it has to be like an old man, like a get off my lawn kind of animal.
Like a raccoon?
But I don't know what. Maybe a raccoon.
All right, and last but not least, which animal would be like the party animal?
Ooh, like some kind of nocturnal animal. Maybe like bats.
Bats.
They're up all night screaming at each other.
No, I veto bats.
Okay, what about maybe raccoons? They're up all night, digging through the trash, making a mess.
All right, then change the grumpy. What would grumpy be? Raccoons are switched to party animals.
I don't know, like,
Oh, a skunk.
oh, a skunk would be grumpy.
They just spray you with their stink when they're all irritated. All right, a dumb one today, but a silly one. I love it.
Okie dokie. I am doing a case that is it's not really a case. I am doing something different today. And when I first saw this, I thought it had no crime in it. There's actually a little crime sprinkled in. But someone at my work was like, "Hey Lex, have you watched this documentary? I think you'd really enjoy it." And I said, "That sounds amazing." I started Googling it, went down a rabbit hole, and watched the documentary. and then said, you know what? I have a platform in which I can talk about this on, and I want to talk about it.
I'm very excited because I have no idea what this is. Because you have not talked to me about it.
I am doing the Lost Children documentary on Netflix.
Ooh, I have no idea what this is.
Now, I will say that this does take place in Colombia, and there are a lot of places and names. I tried to listen to how to pronounce them. Colombian accents are different than things that I've heard in the past. So this is probably not going to be great pronunciation wise.
But you're trying and you looked it up. So everyone be nice.
Okay. So our story takes place in Bogota, Colombia on May 1st, 2023.
Oh, wow. This is like a couple years ago.
Yes, it's very recent, which is why I was like, how have I not heard of this?
Okay, okay.
A small aircraft has gone missing en route from Araraquara to San Jose del Guaviare. On board were four indigenous children and their mother, Magdalena Mucatoy Valencia, and they were traveling to meet their father, Manuel Renault, in Bogota.
They were the only passengers on the plane?
Yes, it was a very,
Okay.
very small plane. Manuel was the father of the two younger children. So there's four children. Manuel's the father of the two youngest. The two oldest had a different father, but she's with Manuel. So he's the other two's stepfather.
Okay.
The children were 13-year-old Leslie, 9-year-old Solaney, 4-year-old Tien Noriel, and 11-month-old Kristen.
Oh.
The plane was last reported over the Amazon forest. So the children lived in like a very small village with her family. So like her mom was there, her sister was there. It's like a very small village. It's like a one-room schoolhouse. It's tiny, small, and the children were described as very happy and affectionate.
Okay.
So when the plane goes missing, Colombia sends an elite military squad to the location of the plane's last transmitted signal. So this is again in the middle of this thick, dense Amazon rainforest. This is not anywhere that people live, that there are habitats. But it is also scary because it is a territory that is controlled by a terrorist group
Oh my goodness.
called FARC. So FARC is the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, and it's a guerrilla organization. That's, you know, a terrorist group to the Colombian government.
So just to clarify, the airplane people were like, we don't have a signal from them anymore. What the heck happened? It's not like they crashed, they this, that, they just lost signal over this rainforest and they need to figure out what the heck happened.
Yes.
Okay.
The forest is so thick and dense that one of the men from the military squad said that it was like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Oh my goodness.
Basically, they like fly over the forest and it's all just the tops of trees, right? So they can't just like see into the forest from above. They have to actually like get in there. Also, in Colombia, there's a lot of tension. There's this terrorist group, there's the military, and then there's also tension between the indigenous people and the military. They don't always get along.
Okay.
But a small group of indigenous people start searching the Amazon for the aircraft.
That's very kind for the family because
Yes.
the family was indigenous as well.
Yes.
That's very okay. Very nice.
So they all do that. A lot of the men who volunteered, the indigenous men, said that, you know, they knew that they were more familiar with the Amazon. That's how they were raised. So they felt like they could be of help.
Heck yeah.
We're going to fast forward, and a week after that airplane goes missing, there is still no sign of the aircraft.
That is terrifying because a mother and her four children are missing, and whole aircraft is missing, and a whole week has gone by.
Yes. So they are basically like, by this point, we're a week in. If the plane crashed and people ended up surviving somehow, any injuries they got would be super infected by now. So each day that passes, the likelihood of the passengers being alive is less and less and less.
So sad.
The children's father, Manuel, also started a small rescue group. And it's a group of indigenous people who'd grown up learning the Amazon forest. They all kind of get together and he kind of leads this group through the forest searching for the aircraft.
So lots of people helping, which is positive.
Yes. 15 days into the search, the Civil Aeronautics Authority was able to give the groups the plane's last known coordinates.
Oh, good. Helpful.
However, when the indigenous people heard about this, they were like, those coordinates don't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think that's where the plane could have ended up. It's not right.
Wow.
So Manuel's group decides, okay, if the plane was flying from here to here, it most likely would have taken this path. They kind of visualize the path and they start searching that path.
Okay, smart.
As they're walking, a 14-year-old boy, Alejandro, says, hey, there's a blue house in the bush.
Okay.
The blue house ended up being the aircraft. So they go and find the aircraft. Someone looks and is like, hey, no one survived. So they kind of start to make their way back. But the guys are talking later, and one of the guys noticed that all the suitcases were still inside the plane. And he was kind of like sitting around a fire one night with them after they had found this and was like, hey, this feels weird to me. Like, I feel like in a plane crash, all of the suitcases would have flown out, but they were still like all tucked in the plane. And on top of that, it looked like someone had opened them up and gone through them. So he's like, something feels off about this.
Yeah, that because he's exactly right.
The indigenous people inform the military, hey, we found the aircraft. So the military comes to the aircraft, obviously, and they are mostly there to identify the bodies in the aircraft. Immediately upon opening the aircraft crashed like vertical. Yeah, vertical.
Nose down.
Yeah. So it's like up and down. So when they open the plane, the way it's like sitting and the way it's crashed in and stuff, it's very hard to see how many bodies are inside. But right when they open the door, they find Magdalena and she is dead.
No, I was hoping that was not the case.
A baby bottle is found near the plane. And a couple steps away from the baby bottle is a passion fruit that had been bitten by human being teeth. They continue down the path a little bit and they find like a pair of scissors. So while that's all happening, they continue to search the plane and like get in it to see if they can find more bodies. And they find two more adult bodies. Hernando, who was the pilot,
Oh,
and Herman, who is one of the indigenous group's leaders.
was he on the plane?
Yeah.
Okay.
However, they do not find any of the children's bodies.
Strange.
So people are ecstatic. They're like, oh my gosh, the children did not die in the plane crash. But where are they and how are they surviving? Remember, these children are 13, 9, 4, and 11 months.
I am hoping that this is very hopeful because you're getting my hopes up, and I hope so much because that does seem like so unlikely, especially in this like Amazon forest. Like I would be freaking out if I was dead and I was like, yay, my children are not dead in the plane, but where the heck are they?
Yes, because your oldest is 13, your youngest is 11 months old.
Oh my God, I have chills all over my body.
And there's no adults to help them.
Oh,
So the military estimates that the children could have walked 100 kilometers, which is 62 miles from the
oh my
crash
God.
site in the past 2 weeks. Because remember, it has taken them 15 days to find this.
Oh my goodness.
So they are like, okay, we have this like 62 miles that they could have gone in any direction. That's going to be our search area. And the mission gets dubbed Operation Hope.
Love it.
The military has now changed all their tactics. They are screaming the kids' names through the jungles while they're walking. They're not trying to be quiet to avoid those terrorist groups anymore. They are screaming. They're like, where are the kids? Kids, come out. We got you. Let's go.
I actually love that.
They bring in search and rescue dogs, and they even have a helicopter flying around playing audio that they recorded from the children's grandmother saying, hey, we're looking for you. Stop moving. We're not going to be able to find you if you don't stop moving.
I have chills all over because that's such a good idea. And can you imagine, like, oh my God, go ahead.
The men also take, like, what are those megaphones?
Hmm.
Bullhorns, whatever those are called. And they will play the recording on their phone through the megaphone while they're walking around the forest.
Smart. This is like so smart.
Yeah. So they're doing kind of everything they can. They even fly over the Amazon and they drop thousands of flyers into the forest that say, stay close to the water, stop moving.
Oh my gosh, they're really doing everything.
Yes. They also have planes sending up flares to try to like guide the children to a specific spot. They are nervous though, because all the noise they're making to find the children could in fact bring the terrorists right to the army. So they're willing to do all this stuff, but it is a dangerous act for them to be doing all this.
It could cause like more issues than they have already at hand.
Yes. The indigenous people also do not want to collaborate with the army. Remember, there is like so much tension between them. They choose to work on their own. The indigenous people were very afraid that the army would hurt them, and the army was very afraid that the indigenous people would hurt them. So, like, this long history of conflict just was not allowing them to work together on this project. And they kind of go into like some of the conflict in the documentary. If you're interested in that part, I kind of wanted to focus on this story. But there is a lot of reasons for the conflict in Colombia, which is also very just an interesting story.
It is, yeah.
So we are now at day 20
20.
of the plane crash. And the military general, he starts to feel really defeated. He's like, we have used every single one of our resources. I mean, they really did pull out
Yeah.
all the stops and they still haven't found them. So he's just feeling super defeated. He does an interview and says, like, hey, it's possible they're not alive anymore. Like, we can't find them. Like, we should have come upon them by now, and we cannot find them. And he's starting to lose hope. And the military kind of talk and convene, and they decide to change their strategy.
Okay.
They bring in 5 teams of indigenous people to come help them. They realize the indigenous people know the Amazon much better than we do.
So even though there's all this tension, they're like, you know what? We're going to put that aside and we're going to work with them. And indigenous people, same thing. Like, you know what? Let's put it aside and find these kids, which is really, really, really great, I think.
Yes. So 2 days later, on day 22
22.
of the children being missing, 85 indigenous people join the search.
Heck yes.
This is the first time in history that the army and the indigenous people have joined forces.
Wow. That's impressive.
So there is a lot of differences between the indigenous people and the military, just as far as like belief systems go. So there is a shaman among these groups of people, and the indigenous people and this shaman talked a lot about these duendes, which are evil spirits. So they believe that a duende may have the kids, and that's why they can't find them.
Okay.
The indigenous people are also very faithful to their culture, and they do ceremonies every day in the jungle that involve tobacco and cocoa leaves to help them find these children. They also are very much like, the jungle does not belong to us. So we are going to cut down as little of the jungle as we can while we're trying to find this. We're going to respect the jungle. Like, this jungle was here before us, it'll be here after us. We cannot just treat it like our own.
I like that.
Whereas the military is mostly Catholic, and they don't believe in the rituals of the indigenous people. And they were like not used to these rituals at all. It was very much like, wow, these are two very different groups out here, but hey, we're all working together anyway.
Good. Yeah. And that's like understandable, right? Especially with like they've never worked together before. So these military people are probably like, oh my God, what is this ceremony? And they're like, let us do our ceremony. We know what we're doing.
Yes, exactly. On day 24
Oh my goodness.
of the search, an indigenous group starts to find signs of the children.
Oh my gosh.
They find a baby bottle top and a dirty diaper.
Oh my gosh.
They also find a place that looks like the children stayed there for about 4 to 5 days before moving on. There's multiple things around. It looks like they had slept there. It looked like it was not just a, hey, we stopped here for a minute.
Okay. This is a good find.
Day 26 of the search is
26.
baby Kristen's first birthday.
No. I just got chills everywhere. This is how she spent her first birthday.
Yes.
I mean, a story to tell, but that's so sad.
Day 29 of the search,
29.
the indigenous people start to get really sick, really,
Oh,
really sick. They have coughs, chest pain, and fevers. And they're like really hesitant to ask the military for help, but they get so sick, they have to ask the military for help. And the military arrives and they actually start making remedies for them. And it's not just, it's, I thought it was very sweet. It's not just all like Western medicine. It's like they did like remedies and stuff that the indigenous people would take and use.
that is very respectful.
Yes. But this gets the indigenous people to start to worry. They're like, if we are out here with all the food, all the
Oh,
supplies, all the things that we need, and we are getting sick, how are the children?
1,000%. I didn't even think of that, but yes.
Their grandmother and their aunt have a theory that Leslie, the oldest, does not want to be found because she is afraid of Manuel. Leslie witnessed abuse to her mother by Manuel, including Manuel hitting Magdalena with a machete.
Oh my God, my heart is 1,000% breaking for these children and a 13-year-old running. Oh my God, I literally want to cry. I'm not even kidding.
The searchers did not know about the abuse that Magdalena suffered. They thought Manuel was like this great father and husband. He's got this search team. He's been in the Amazon for 2 weeks now. Like, they didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
On day 32, the searchers start to like look for the children through the night. They're like, we need to
32?
find these children. Yes, day 32.
Over a month.
They start to look for the children at night. They have these big flares going up, they have lights. They're like, we are desperate. Like, we do not know how we haven't found them yet.
Yeah.
Also, both the indigenous people and the military noticed that a lot of strange things started happening.
Do tell.
One of the military men talks about how they were using the GPS to look, and the compass just started spinning rapidly and wouldn't stop.
What's going on? I'm stressed out.
On day 33,
Oh gosh.
the military general decides to pull the troops.
No, 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 no.
He no longer believes the children are alive, as there has not been signs of them for days.
No.
So on day 34, the military pull out. Some of the indigenous people also leave. They've kind of given up hope. They've gotten too sick. They've just dwindled. So the group of indigenous people is much smaller, and there's not much hope that the children were alive.
Which I get. It's been 34 days. You're in an Amazon rainforest with not many resources whatsoever, and you're young, and it's, oh my gosh.
A couple days later, the shaman decides there's only one thing left to try.
Yes.
He wants to try Yagi, which is better known to us as ayahuasca.
For the baddies who are like Sammy and not even sure what ayahuasca is, please do tell.
Ayahuasca is a psychoactive tea, plants, and it is used in a lot of indigenous cultures in medicine and in shaman, but it is got psychoactive effects.
Okay. I mean, pull out all the stops, I guess, you know?
The indigenous people call in a favor and they bring them the yage by helicopter.
Get out of town. Who brings them by helicopter? The
I think the military.
Get out of town.
Yeah.
Now they're like, they never work together and they're like, yeah, we're gonna bring you the ayahuasca, don't you worry.
Yeah. So, of course, they are like, Manuel, you are the father. You are going to take the ayahuasca, the yage, and you are going to find your children. So, Manuel takes it. However, nothing happens. The people believe that because nothing happened, the jungle had rejected Manuel and say that he needs to leave.
Yes, yes, yes. Especially if the grandma and the ants theory is correct. Yes.
So that night, they have one more dose left and decided the shaman, whose name is Rubio, I don't think I've said his name yet, should be the one who does it.
Let's go, Rubio.
They say, if this doesn't work, we're leaving. Like, this is our last ditch effort. If this doesn't work, we're going to wake up tomorrow and we're going to leave.
I am sweating bullets.
Rubio takes the yage.
Rubio, Rubio.
They wake up on day 40.
Day 40 now. This is insanity to me.
Rubio says, it went well. We will find the kids today.
Rubio.
The group has already called a helicopter. The helicopter's got a set time to come pick them up. Remember, they said, if we don't find the kids today, that's it. We can't do this anymore. We're not going to find them. They all follow Rubio's instructions and kind of break off into groups. And the groups of rescuers come back one by one saying, we couldn't find anything.
I'm stressing.
There were 4 men who are making their way back to their site to get picked up when they hear a cry.
Full body chill everywhere.
They stop dead in their tracks and hear another cry. They find all 4 children alive.
Thank you, God. And this is such an insane, that is like a miracle. Like, are you kidding me right now? 40 days in a jungle. The oldest is 13. The youngest is now a year. Oh my God. Thank you, Jesus.
The children were obviously terrified. The men all took videos on their phones so you can watch the videos of them finding these kids.
I need to go look this up.
The children are terrified, so the men start to sing to the children, hold them in their arms.
Oh.
I don't know if you remember like 2 sentences ago, but there are 4 men in this group of searchers and there are 4 children. So each man takes a child, puts them on his back, and walks them back to where the helicopter is going to come pick them up.
I'm getting like legit emotional right now. That's like so sweet. It's meant to be.
Yes.
Oh my God,
It's
I'm crying.
wild how it all just like worked perfectly.
Literally. And it was like after that dad left, like If the dad was there, it probably would have like freaked them out more. Oh my goodness. Like, wow.
So the military come, they pick up the kids, they get them all into hospitals. They're all pretty rough shape, obviously, spending 40 days in an Amazon forest all by themselves, but they get them the medical help they need. And in the documentary, they tell Leslie's story as she told it to investigators.
Oh my gosh.
Leslie said that she did not know how long she was unconscious for after the crash, but she woke up and there was a lot of blood. She had a very large cut on her leg, and her siblings were crying. When she woke up, her mother was making noises, but all of a sudden she stopped.
So sad and tragic.
She had realized that her mother had died and she had to pull her little sister out from underneath her mother.
Oh my gosh.
She knew that they needed to find something to eat and drink. So she said, "We have to leave the plane." But she could not walk with the injury to her leg. So she dragged herself through the Amazon, taking care of three younger children on her knees for the first 20 days.
She's 13 years old.
13 years old.
She is such an incredible human. Like, oh my goodness. I'm at a loss for words at how strong you're dragging yourself, you're helping your siblings. You just saw your mother die. That's so insanity to me.
Her mother had taught her about the fruits in the jungles that were edible and that they could eat. So she would go and find these fruits and get them for her and her siblings.
Amazing.
She also made her own fishing rod and caught some fish. She like told investigators they had to eat it raw and it was really gross, but she knew they needed to be eating something.
She's incredible and a hero.
She said that they tried to follow her grandmother's voice, but every time they would hear it and start following it, it would start to fade and they couldn't ever get to where it was.
So they did hear it,
Mm-hmm.
which also was probably a letdown to them as well. They're like, oh my God, we hear it, and then don't. Like, that's got to be heartbreaking.
Yes. She would lay her siblings down and try to get them to sleep at each and every night, but she didn't really get much sleep herself. At one point, her brother became so weak he could not stand.
It's so sad.
She says that at one point, after all this happened, she actually lost hope and she just left. She just walked away from her brothers and her sisters.
I get it.
And she said once she got about 20 minutes away, she realized she had to come back and protect them. So she immediately turns around and goes back and protects them.
This is such an incredible story.
She said Tien and Kristen started to get really, really sick. When she saw the men, she collapsed. She knew she didn't have to keep her siblings alive anymore and that they were safe.
I'm gonna get emotional again.
So pretty happy ending. Except that since the rescue, there have been new allegations of Manuel's abuse. So he is currently in prison awaiting trial.
Good.
And the children are in the welfare system in Colombia right now, but do get to see their family regularly.
Good. Good, good, good. Because I was like, well, what about their family? But good that they're still seeing their family.
Yes. So I think the parent, like the family is fighting for custody, but it's hard because the dad hasn't been charged with anything yet, yada, yada, yada. So that's, I think, why they're still in welfare. But hopefully there'll be some closure for them soon since he is having that trial. But that is the insane story about how 4 children, ages 13 to 11 months old, survived in the Amazon for 40 days after a plane crash.
40 days. And like obviously, it's still very tragic because the 3 lives lost from the plane crash, right? And they lost their mother, who was obviously like such an important part in their life. 2, like so insane that this 13-year-old was taking care of her siblings, like dragging herself through the forest. They all had to figure it out. And then they get saved. And then now Manuel's in jail. So they're in this welfare system. So I really hope that these kids can find peace because this is, they deserve it after everything every kid deserves peace, but especially after everything they've been through.
I will say that they did stress that they have not been separated in the welfare system.
Good.
They have stayed together the whole time. So
good. Because especially in that case, that would be the worst thing I think in the world, especially with the young
Yes.
kids. Oh my God. Because they probably have so much like love and like attachment to their older sister now. It's probably insane. And like that
Yes.
older sister, like I just want to give her all of the flowers because how incredible is that? And like I said, I know there was still three deaths, and I know Manuel was kind of a poop head, but this is one of those uh more uplifting stories that I'm happy you brought it up on the pod, and I like can't believe I never heard of it before.
It's wild. I'm trying to send you a picture of them.
Yeah, I want to see their cute faces. Oh my God. Oh my God, the plane was like crashed.
Yeah.
They're so cute though.
There's one of the little girl up close. I don't know if you can see, she's got like two little space buns in her hair. It's she's so cute. I can't even take it.
They're cute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry again.
So shout out to 13-year-old baddie Leslie.
Yes, 1,000%. We're obsessed with you. You are the coolest girl ever. You did what most grown adults could not. Like, you're an incredible,
Yes.
amazing human. And all the people who helped, and the indigenous people and the military coming
Yes.
together, amazing as well.
Yes. And I don't think they would have ever been found had it not been for all those groups coming together because it took literally everybody.
I 1,000% agree. They pulled out all the stops in the best way possible.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for listening to me do a not super grimy podcast just because I wanted to talk about this because I thought it was so cool. Please give us a follow wherever you are listening to this podcast and hit us up on Insta, Facebook, TikTok, and the YouTube. Give us nice comments, give us nice reviews, talk to us, chat with us. We love it. We want to hear from you.
Send us a nice email with a case suggestion or a story to bloodshedbaddies@gmail.com. Our intro music is made by the incredible cousin Vinny. Tell everybody you know, shout it from the rooftops, and tune in next week for a me episode.
Bye bye.
Love you.